Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you find yourself in the world, around the world. Welcome to another session. Today is Thursday, 15th of May, 2025. We are halfway through May already. Today we have a lot of high impact news at 1:30, which is going to affect the market. So at 1:30 we will observe the news event, and then after that we will continue. Okay, let's dive into price. So let's start from the daily. Now you can see that down candle on the daily is kind of holding price, and we got a rejection yesterday, so I think we might come up for the previous day's high today, which is here. Right, we might come up for that during this maybe news event, and we will trade to this gap that formed on Tuesday. So expect a movement. That's what I would expect with the news coming at 1:30. And if we do get that, that means Euro is also going to be the inverse, opposite to that. It's going to trade here. Maybe it might hold, maybe it might break, we don't know. So let me dive deep into it and see exactly where the gap exists. Okay, so we do have a couple of them in here. We have this one, and then that one. Yeah, those two levels. Okay, so when the news comes out, I'll be expecting price to move to that, and then how we react off from it will determine what price is going to do going forward. So let's see how price will behave once we get down there. Give me 1 second. Okay. So yeah, we'll watch how price is gonna do, how price is gonna behave in that area, and then from there we will obviously take action during this New York session. The opposite is true for the British pound. Let's move what is showing. So British pound, I think, might go and attack previous day's low here. We also have a nice auto block that formed in New York session, so that will be interesting to see how price will move once we get here. I think yesterday we spoke about this pair going for that previous week high, right? And during the session yesterday, I said to look for a buy. We had our session at 1 here, right? And they left a nice fair value gap here. So overnight, price dropped in there. There was a news event at 2:30. I was awake, wide awake, so I saw that coming in, and I took the trade, and then price exploded all the way up. And I think it's going to attack this high, as we mentioned, based on the weekly profile, right? The week close bullish, rejecting previous week low, so we will be attacking this. And since they took out that low, price never looked back. Now if you pay attention, right, you can see they rejected the New York session over here. And I want you to always pay attention to New York session price action, because that gives you like the narrative as to what's going to happen the next day. So on Wednesday, since price could not trade lower, because the New York session was suggesting lower prices on Tuesday, since price could not move lower, then it kind of shift. Okay, so the delivery of price shifted right here during yesterday's session, right? Even though you can use the imbalance as the call, because once they trade through that imbalance, then that's it. So you can use the imbalance as the call, and then that's it. This was a pullback to extend. Now every single week, okay, every single week, if you can find something like this, okay, go to the weekly chart every single week, all right, and then find how the week closed. Let me start with Aussie CAD. If you find how this week closed, you know how this week is going to close. Simple. If we close above, you look for higher prices. If we close below, you look for lower prices. If you reject it, you look for price to take out the high. Okay, you look for price to go and take out the high. If we did the opposite, if we did this, you look for price to take out the low. Okay, and then what you do is you apply the power of 3. Okay, when I say the power of 3, so for example, if we rejected on the upside, okay, let's say this is how price traded. We went above an up candle, we rejected, and then we went down, and then we came back up, and we closed here. Okay, the following week, what you will do is you're gonna anticipate them opening, going up, pretending as if it's gonna go and make out and take out this high. Then you look for a rejection to come back down and take out this low. Once this low is taken, you can hold on to some of the trade because it can lead to a reversal. And then that will form a 3-bar pattern, which is a swing high, a turning point. Or it can reject back up again and then continue going up. If it does that, that's your reaccumulation candle. That becomes your reaccumulation candle. Then the following week, you look for a continuation to the upside because that will basically close above this high. Okay, so it's very simple on how to. The only problem with this is when the week start. Okay, there's some sort of manipulation, and that sometimes causes confusion. Okay, when the week start, there is some manipulation that causes confusion, and that confusion is what leads to you not seeing what I'm showing you. And if you spend time on the lower time frame, so for example on the pound Aussie, if you were on this time frame, it will confuse you because Monday we got down, we came back up, we went down. Tuesday we were going down. So if you're on this time frame, you will see, right, this equal low. That's what I saw, that we are going to attack it on, I think it was on, I can't remember when it was. And then I corrected myself because when I saw the equal low on the lower time frame, I was convinced we were going to go down there. I think it was Monday. Then I switched to the weekly, and then on Tuesday I corrected it and I said, no, we are not going to take out that, but you're going to take out this high rather, because if you can see it on the high time frame, then the high time frame price action is what it's likely gonna manifest. Okay, and what I shared with you, it's fractal. It's actually on every time frame, but the higher the time frame, the better. Okay, the higher the time frame, the better. So if you want to quote unquote see what price is going to do, start from the higher time frame, aka the weekly or the monthly, and that will give you a broad perspective of what's supposed to happen going forward. That higher time frame narrative is what will guide the lower time frame price action. Okay, the higher time frame narrative is what will guide the lower time frame. Yeah. Okay, so let's carry on. As I mentioned, I didn't like this one because the narrative was not clean, right? We were supposed to come and attack this high, but we went down. And definitely, if we do, we need to reject immediately. I actually went and touched this last down candle's high and never looked back. Traded through the New York session, Fair Valley Gap, same thing, just that the pound Aussie looked much better. Okay, all right. Aussie dollar, I think this one too, we are trading in discount relative to this low to the high, but I'm not convinced yet with this. I think I prefer New Zealand dollar. Yesterday I was pointing to a level over here and basically they traded through it. So let's look at how this area is gonna behave itself. Like the last down candle, we might probably trade to that one with the news event coming. either the Aussie or New York, I'm sorry, or New Zealand, one of them will take out a low. I'm not sure which one yet. Let me see. Okay, this was from last week. I've not looked at this pair since last week. Trying to figure out which one will be taken. Okay, there is a bit of resistance in here on the weekly time frame, which is a weekly fair value gap. So we might experience maybe a pause. So that will mean either Aussie, because if we pause here, it will be struggling for the Australian dollar to go up, right? Hence some weakness. So maybe they might take out the Australian dollar low and then sustain the New Zealand low, because New Zealand low has a nice auto block here. We took out a low and then we broke. With the Australian dollar, we did not take out this low. Okay, it's that one. So this has engineered equal low. So this looks more prone to be attacked than the it looked more prone to be attacked than the New Zealand dollar. Okay. New Zealand CAD is also a good one. We have this low being taken, price went up. On the daily, we have an auto block here, so this too can be a nice trade. Okay, so between 70 and 79.5, let me drop down to the 1 hour. Yeah, we are at a level that price can start reversing. I'll wait for New York to come in and then show interest it wants to go up. So watch this up candle. If we break it, then we can start moving higher. All right. Okay, I think I prefer the New Zealand CAD and New Zealand dollar. Okay, moving on. Dollar CAD. Yesterday we spoke about this pair going into that fair value gap once we broke above that high. I traded this one yesterday and it was beautiful. I got in right here. So I took that long and then I got out right there. Actually it was this one. Okay, so after the break I was waiting for New York session to start, and once we closed above this down candle, that was it. I got in right there and then take profit there. Now it can go up and take out this high, but it's gonna struggle because we did take out this high and then we rejected. So we have high resistance over there. We have high resistance. Ultimately, I think it will trade through it because we are reversing, okay, from this low to this high, back down into discount OTE. So maybe we will be trading through that high today with the news event. So we need something to push through it because it's a high resistance level, similar to how Ethereum and AI16Z, the way they were moving. AI16Z is still struggling to go through that level, but we know eventually we need something big to come and push it through. So same thing with this one here. Price is struggling right there. It's struggling here, and we need something because the 1 hour is showing a nice auto block, right? It's very, very identical. So there are some blocks, okay, that are important, and there are some that are not relevant. Blocks like this is very important. Why? Because of the time it formed and then the action it did, right? It took out the previous day high and then rejected during the New York session. This is the block that you don't just see it and then ignore it. Okay, so something for your notes if you do take notes. I don't even say that. Why did I say it? Something for you to remember. If ever you see price taking out a previous day's high or a previous day's low and then rejecting immediately through the last up candle, that during New York session, that candle is supposed to be your auto block. You should sell it immediately. Go through price and find some examples. Previous day's low being taken and then we move immediately above an up candle or a down candle. That candle becomes your auto block. Let me see if I can find an example. Even sessions lows and sessions high. If you can find sessions lows and sessions highs. I think there's an example over here. Right there. So you can see we took out the previous day's low. This is Monday. This is Tuesday. We took it out and then price dropped. That candle right here, that becomes a very important auto block. This becomes your breaker. You can see how price trades straight back to that breaker and then it goes down. Maybe in future, if I do get time, I do have time, I'll talk about certain things, some algorithmic principles that I am privileged to know. I did not learn it from ICT, by the way. Okay, that's the previous day's high. Rejected. This candle's low becomes very sensitive. Now, look at the timing. Everything is time. Okay, let me talk really quickly about one aspect of it. So we have something called time and memory. Okay, time and memory. Time gives us memory, because without time there's no memory. Okay, for example, if there was no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or if there's no 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, then what are you going to anchor your experience to? Okay, what are you going to experience? What are you going to anchor your experience to? Now, when I say anchor your experience to, would you say I went to work on, see, I went to work on Monday, I went to work on Tuesday, I went to work on Monday at 5 o'clock, I went to work on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Okay, you can't reference your experience. That is why time is necessary, because time obviously is different. I'm not talking about just your clock, but even a day is a time reference, a week is a time reference, a month is a time reference, a season, a quarter is a time reference, a season is a time reference. All these are time references. So time gives us memory. The same thing applies on the chart. The time of the day, okay, will give you a memory, or it will give the algorithm a memory to something to remember. Okay, it will give the algorithm something to remember. Hence, when something is happening at a certain time, so the reason why this level is so precise, this is a breaker, right? The reason why price came right there and dropped, because this level happened during the London session. Okay, so it will be easier to be remembered by the algorithm. Same thing with this up candle. It happened in New York session. It will be easier for the algorithm to remember it. Hence, price comes here and then it drops. Okay, you might find the same type of candle, same thing happening at a different time. Let's say this whole thing happened in Asia. Now, Asia, yes, it's time, but most of Asia price action is all manipulation. So you might have something similar happening in Asia, but nothing is going to happen, because whatever is happening in Asia most of the time is what? Manipulation. Okay, so yeah, that is why this level is so sensitive to price. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Oh, it's 131. Okay, let's go and check the dollar index quickly. Okay, so they did send it down. I think that would be manipulation. That movement down might be manipulation. They will reject and come back up. Don't fall for that. I think they will reject and come back for this high. If you lose this low, here, then we might continue going down. We might continue going down to attack this low. Okay, so whatever is happening right now, I think it's manipulation. Okay, let's carry on. I think I've gone through all the currencies now. Let me check this one. I'm really interested in New Zealand CAD this afternoon. and New Zealand dollar. I'll be watching it during the New York session. Let's look at gold. So gold eventually traded down straight to, I think it went through that, and then we come to OTE level. So we should be going up from here. We should be going up from here, I think, on the weekly. Yeah. We should be going up from here. Today is Thursday, right? Monday gap down, Tuesday went down, Wednesday went down, and today is Thursday. Thursday was likely gonna form the low of the week. So yeah, I think we will potentially continue going up. So look for a continuation to the upside. I think once we break this up candle, even though it happened at the Asian session, but this move has an intention behind it. Okay, it has an intention behind it. So once we break it, watch this gap and the auto block. We might trade back to it and then expand higher. Okay. Crude oil. So crude oil has given up the ghost. I was expecting them to go up there, but they went for probably not even take it and then immediately rejected. So this high, this low, that high, that break structure. So we are going to come back down. First target being 50%, and then OTE. This high to this low, we might probably trade back into this and then move lower. Yeah, watch that one over there. Price might move back into that, or probably even not get there, and then move to the 50% and then the OT level. Let's look at the S&P 500. So yesterday S&P, they played around a lot in here. I got crashed. I took a long here. After this rejection, right? So it's always, the same thing, doing the same thing over and over and over again. We took out the low, rejected, broke the high, fair value gap, pulled back to it. So I was expecting them to go and attack that high, and then it fell. So that was my trade for yesterday on this pair, which it's okay. It happens, and it will happen to you as well. But I still think they're gonna go for that high. This high. I'm sorry, it's a fair value gap. I still think that's where they're gonna go. So today we might expand in there. Now once we get there, maybe that will be it, and then we come back down. So I'm expecting this to be something like this. That's what I'm expecting. All right, so let's see if that will be the case. how New York will trade today will decide. If we lose that here, then we will continue going lower, as in lower, because all of that is a pullback on the higher time frame basis. So if we lose this, then we'll start going back down again. Okay. Let's go over to the cryptos, the crypto world. Okay, let's start with Tatsuo, because Tatsuo is misbehaving. Yesterday I was looking for price to take out this low and then reject, but it traded through it. Now once that happened, this low is going to be taken, the previous week low. And once we take it, we'll see if it's going to reject immediately, or it needs to reject immediately after taking it. Okay, price needs to reject immediately after taking this. Why? Because we should be coming for the previous month high. So this low here might be liquidity needed to go up there. And I like the fact that we have this up and then these consecutive down candles. So once that low is taken, I want to see a quick rejection. Now if you see, maybe it might not be today, they might just take it and reject like this. But if you see this sort of candle happening after taking out this low, then we will be aiming for that. Okay, we will take this one and that one. So that's the signature you're looking for. You want to see a quick rejection back above a down candle, then that would change the state of delivery, and then we come back up here. Touch key, okay, something similar. I was expecting that, but then one more time, it looks as if they're gonna take out this low again, which is going to be a little bit surprising, because after this rejection, this week should have closed above that and then make its way up there. So this will now give us a higher resistance or a high resistance, hence one more run below this low should follow through with a rejection. So watch out for similar pattern on the and then a rejection. Right, and then you want to see a quick rejection back above again, then you can look for the buy. Okay, this one did fail, which is fine, because you're buying based on the manipulation. You're not buying because of this, you're buying because they manipulated down and then rejected. That's what gives us the buy. But since it's not respected, then it's creating the same pattern again. One up, three down, rejection. So one up, three so far. So hopefully this one will get there today, or if it doesn't get there, then tomorrow's candle is gonna take the low, and then that will be the candle that actually rejects, and you might get something like this. And then again, you can start looking for the buy. XRP, we are still respecting this down candle, so as it stands, it might take out this low here and then go up. Now surprisingly, it's an inside candle, so whatever is going on in there is accumulation. Price is being accumulated. Okay, so between Tuesday and today, all that price action is happening within the Monday candle. So that's accumulation. So they might take out this low and then expand up again. All right. So no, we will say no cause for alarm. Don't worry, it's still gonna push up anyway. Hype, same thing. We have an inside candle, so this low has been taken already. I would expect it to reject. It's all going to do this. They're all going to be doing the same thing. Ethereum, same thing. I think Ethereum came to that OT level, so that's a good thing, right? That's a nice trade idea to go back up. If you like it, you can take the Ethereum trade to go to that 50%. Bitcoin, same thing. It's within that Tuesday's candle, Monday's candle. We've not taken out the high nor the low, so accumulation is ongoing. You're gonna be expecting an expansion very, very soon. Eyes on the Bitcoin, because if it starts going up, it'll be this one that will give you the clue that we are going up. And then Solana, I think Solana is a little bit different because it did take out that high, but yes, still the same narrative is being accumulated. So we will be expecting expansion very, very soon. I don't know when, but it will be coming very, very soon. AI16Z, that area, this one, that's the order block, similar order block that I was talking about regarding the dollar CAD, right? This is a very strong order block, hence that price action. So this is a pullback into this gap. We don't want them to lose this low. We are going for that high. Okay, so as soon as Bitcoin starts shooting up, this one will resume, and then you go and take out the high as well. All right. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I gave you something today. Think about it. Especially, it doesn't work much. I won't say much. It doesn't work on the crypto market, because crypto market is 24/7, and it's highly driven by speculation. Okay, but with the currencies, it's mostly driven by the algorithm. So price will do certain things at certain time because someone is doing it, someone is trading it, right? The banks are trading levels, but these ones, the banks are not in there. Okay, so they are very erratic. They don't respect much unless on the higher time frame like this. Okay, but lower time frame, think about time. I think this ICT has said it several times, and price. But what I shared with you today is time and memory. Okay, time and memory. So what happened at a specific time becomes a memory. An order block happening at the New York session is a memory in price. That price will revisit and remember that it happened there. Okay, so think about, sometimes be a little bit creative, right? Think about if price is driven by an algorithm, right? Then there will be a variable or a table within the algorithm that will have pattern, time, and then I don't know, day or date. Here will be an OB, New York, 13th May. Then not used action. I'm just painting a picture in your head. Action not traded to NTT, not traded to, then impact high. Okay, something like this. And then you might have FVG Asia, date 10th May, action traded to, impact low. Okay, and these are what the algorithm is doing. It's just remembering this stuff whilst you are busy looking at trend lines, while you are busy looking at EMAs, right? That's not what the market is looking at. The market is looking at something like this, because these are the things that it will have in memory, and it will use this. Now this is just a rough idea, okay? That's not what I'm saying is there, but it's a rough idea. Okay, so think outside the box and then use that rough idea to be able to know that there are certain things that happens at certain times, and that's what I've been bringing your attention to, only the New York sessions ones, because the New York sessions ones are they are the ones that will define what price is going to do for the next day. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to respect it all the time, but if you pay attention to that, you'll be more right than wrong, right? The trade that I gave you on the, or I spoke about, that's what here. This becomes a memory. Impact high is supposed to be respected. So for price to trade through it, that is a sign. This is a change in the state of delivery. The algorithm doesn't want to go lower. And then you switch and then you buy. Okay. All right. Enough. I think I've shared too much today. We have a saying. How does it go? Those who have ears, let them hear. Those who have eyes, let them see. But those who don't have eyes and ears, let them remain blind and dumb. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Now, before I go, this is why I personally, right, I prefer trading the currencies, because they are easier to predict, easier to trade than I know cryptos move, but this is the reason why I prefer this market, because of predictability. It's easy to predict them. Okay, there's no way you're gonna predict this on the cryptocurrencies. It won't work like this, but in currencies it will. On cryptos it will not work like this. All right, so yeah, anyway, I've said enough. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Take care.